It started with a scream. A cold November morning, parking lot of a small grocery store. Emily ran out of the store with 2 paper bags and a heart full of chaos. Her son was sick, her rent was late, her job was hanging by a thread. Then she saw him, a man standing too close to her car. He was unshaven, dressed in worn jeans and a faded coat, his hands clutching something shiny. Her fear took over. "Hey, get away from my car!" she yelled. The man froze, startled, eyes wide and gentle, like someone caught in the wrong story. I I wasn't stealing," he said softly. "You dropped this." He held up her car keys. They were lying on the ground, just beside the tire, but she didn't care. "Sure, that's what they all say. Just go before I call security." The man nodded quietly and stepped back. He placed the keys on the hood of her car, murmured, "Have a good day, ma'am," and walked away. Emily threw the groceries in, slammed the door, and drove off with shaking hands. Her chest was tight with guilt, but pride swallowed it whole. In her mind, she was protecting her son. She didn't have time for compassion. That night, she couldn't sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw his face, calm, tired, kind. She thought of how his fingers trembled, how his voice cracked when he spoke. Maybe he was hungry. Maybe he was cold. Maybe she was wrong. But life didn't give Emily room for guilt. Her son, Danny, just 6 years old, was battling leukemia. She'd sold almost everything: her jewelry, her car's stereo, her old wedding ring. Every dollar went to the hospital. 2 weeks later, she was back in the hospital hallway, clutching Danny's small hand. His skin looked pale, his voice faint. "Mommy," he whispered, "am I going to be okay?" Her throat closed. "Yes, baby, you'll be okay. Mommy's here." But when the doctor came in, the look on his face broke her world. "We need a bone marrow donor immediately," he said. "The last transplant failed. If we don't find a match soon, we'll lose him." Emily fell apart. She called every friend, every family member. No one matched. She even posted online begging strangers to test. Days turned into nights, nights into prayers. No one came through. One evening, exhausted and hopeless, she collapsed in the hospital chapel. Tears ran down her face as she whispered, softly, desperate, "God, please, please send someone, anyone." That same night, just a few blocks away, an ambulance arrived at the ER. A homeless man had been hit by a truck while trying to help a woman fix her flat tire. He had no ID, no phone, no family. Only a small folded paper in his jacket pocket. An organ donor card signed David Ship. By dawn, Emily was awakened by the sound of footsteps rushing outside her room. Doctors, nurses, urgency. She stepped out. "What's happening?" she asked, her voice trembling. The nurse smiled. "We found a match. Your son can have his transplant today." Emily gasped. "You found someone? Who?" The nurse shook her head gently. "He's anonymous, but he gave permission before he passed." Emily didn't understand. Passed? The nurse nodded softly. "He didn't make it through the night." Tears filled Emily's eyes, but she felt gratitude crash through the grief. Her son was saved. Someone, some stranger, gave her the greatest gift a mother could ever receive. The surgery went well. Danny survived. After weeks of recovery, the doctor called Emily into his office. "There's something you should see," he said, handing her a small brown envelope. Inside was a note written in messy handwriting. To the mother of the little boy who live. I once had a son too. Lost him when I lost everything. I hope this gives you the peace I never found. By David Shipp. Emily froze. Her heart began to race. David Shipp. That name. Where had she... Her breath caught. Her mind flashed back to the parking lot. The man. The tired eyes. The trembling hands holding her keys. Her scream. Her words. "No!" she whispered. "No! No! No!" She ran out of the office, tears streaming down her cheeks, until she reached the hospital memorial wall. There it was, a new name engraved that morning. David Shipp. He wasn't stealing from her. He was helping her. And in the end, he gave her everything. She sank to the floor, clutching the letter to her chest, whispering, "I yelled at the man who saved my son's life." From that day forward, Emily changed. Every weekend, she brought food to the homeless shelter. Every Christmas, she made sure no one slept hungry. And every year on November 14th, she visited the small, unmarked grave behind the hospital, where she placed white lilies and whispered, "Thank you, David. You didn't die unnoticed." Because kindness has no face, no status, no home. And sometimes the people we fear the most are the angels sent to save us. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more emotional stories from DLYN Stories. See you in the next one. Bye for now.